Here at CPAC Chicago, here with Maria Heil from the NRA Board of Directors. Maria, you were just on a panel about the Second Amendment, about the liberal shadow war in the Second Amendment. Tell us about it.
Well, we have liberal shadow war all over on the Second Amendment. Within the media, of course, not on this show. But I covered things like the local news. Here in NBC, they showed a machine gun when they were talking about semi-autos. TV, movies. I talked about all that. Lethal Weapon 4, their anti-gun messages that they have there. Imagine a movie that's made because of all the gun things, exciting and everything, and they tout an anti-gun message. I also challenged people that attended the panel to do something, one thing every week, to support the Second Amendment between now and election and beyond. But I asked them to do things as simple as watch Cam and Company, read online, educate themselves about the Second Amendment, take somebody to a firing range, talk to somebody about the Second Amendment. Little things like that add up, because I have to tell you, while I live in Pennsylvania, I grew up here in the Chicago area. I grew up in Oak Park and Wheaton, and in Oak Park, my first memory I have about the gun issue was when Oak Park first started this anti-gun silliness, and there was a Sinclair gas station right on Austin Avenue, right near the Eisenhower, and I clearly remember one man who worked there when Oak Park started this. He came out and he made the news. He was pumping gas with a gun on his hip. He'd been robbed many times. He had a gun on his hip. I didn't know anything back then, but that memory stuck with me. And that showed me that you've got to stand up for your rights. And of course, many other things went into my life that got me to where I am now. But if something as simple as one person standing up can make an impact on other people's lives, it's a ripple effect. And here years later, someone who grew up in Oak Park is on the NRA Board of Directors. It can make a world of difference, not only to the Second Amendment, but also to our country, because that's what we're fighting for. We're not just fighting for the Second Amendment, we're fighting for our country, and we all know that.
Why should other women get involved in the Second Amendment and the shooting sports and just guns in general?
Because there's not enough women involved. Yes, women want to protect themselves, because after all, think about it, it is self-defense. It's not waiting for a boyfriend or husband to protect you, or calling the police, because they can't be there. They would love to be there to protect you, but they can't. So it's self-defense. More women need to really realize that what they have to do is get involved, be educated, and find out what they need to do to be able to defend themselves. And a firearm, Sam Colt said it best, it's the great equalizer. Talk about equal rights. And actually, if you think about it, the anti-gun movement, the people who want to take guns away from everybody, boy, you're talking about the real war on women. You really are, because there's no equalizer there then, and that makes us dependent on somebody else.
Last question, why is it important to get Barack Obama out of office in terms of the Second Amendment?
That's a question that goes without answer, isn't it? We all know. We need to get him out because he does have an anti-gun agenda, and he's told Sarah Brady, he needs to lie low till he gets his second term so that he will be able to do what he wants to his second term. It's like having carte blanche, and we're all afraid of that. And really, you hear it every 4 years. This is the most important election of your lifetime. Well, guess what? It really is the most important election in this country, in the history of this country. We really need to get people out there. Just hand somebody at the gun range or at your gun club, hand them a voter registration. Don't ask them if they're registered to vote. Just say, I'm assuming you're registered to vote, but if you know somebody who isn't, please get them to register. That way you're not putting anybody on the spot. And that way, if they're at a gun range or a gun shop, they're pretty much probably pro-Second Amendment. So it's that important. You've got to step outside of your comfort zone and do something about it.